What is up, Budget Builders? My name is Trill, and today we have some good news. It looks like we have a stimulus deal on the horizon. Democrats on Capitol Hill were negotiating all day on Tuesday and prior weeks, and it appears that the consensus is that a stimulus deal is around the corner. Also, it appears that Bernie Sanders and other lawmakers were successful in including the negotiations of prescription drug prices into this stimulus deal. Now, Schumer announced that there is a deal on the table to lower prescription drug prices. Now, you're probably wondering what most Americans are probably wondering as well, if Senator Joe Manchin is going to support this bill or not. So I will give you a clue. President Biden stated while traveling in Europe that Joe Manchin will support the final spending bill. Now, before we get started, you'll already know what to do. If you're interested in these topics today, be so kind and go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. Now, let's go ahead and jump right back into the video. The stock market continues to soar in the recent days, even though there is a shortage of food and cars and chips for a majority of manufacturers, as well as a shortage of people wanting a new job. The stock market continues to impress people as it continues to just go up and up and up each and every day. The S&P 500 rose to a record high on Tuesday, ahead of a key Federal Reserve decision, as strong corporate earnings gave investors confidence in the year-end rally. As well as a small cap benchmark, the Russell 2000 rose slightly to close at an all-time high as well. Now, the earnings season overall is turning out to be much stronger than anticipated, while many companies are warning that supply restrictions are a problem. Most have nonetheless been able to rise prices, maintain strong profit margins, and take full advantage of healthy demand with greater sales results. Fears of overwhelming profit margin erosion simply did not happen. Now, those that are not familiar with Tesla stock, it has risen from $775 on October the 1st to $1,200 on November the 1st. That's an increase of $425 in just 30 days. But that's just one example. If you are still not investing yet, be sure that you go ahead and sign up for a Webull account where you could have won one of those free Tesla shares. They have been giving them out for free, or other stocks worth up to $2,000. Now all you have to do is just sign up with the link down below and deposit as much as $1, and you will receive 2 free stocks to start your journey. It's super easy, guys, but let me know if you have any questions. Also, for all of you out there that love to binge watch TV shows on Netflix every weekend, they just announced that they are starting their online gaming system this week. Netflix started rolling out its mobile video games to some Android users starting this past Tuesday. Subscribers have the option of playing 5 different games on the Netflix app, including Stranger Things 1984, Stranger Things 3, The Game, Shooting Hoops, Card Blast, and Teeter Up. Netflix has been working to go beyond its traditional film and show offerings in an effort to grab more user attention and add value to its service, as if they don't already have everyone's attention glued into the Netflix app. Now, Netflix pointed to the game Fortnite as competition in its shareholders' letter in 2019. Now, these games are included with the Netflix subscription and will not include advertisements or in-app purchases, while Netflix said it will build games as a standalone product that competes with other services. Executives hope popular characters or games may be able to help with video content decisions in the future. And for those that may have missed it, the Atlanta Braves beat the Houston Astros in the World Series last night. The Atlanta Braves beat the Houston Astros in their first World Series since 1995. The Atlanta Braves ended up winning the game 7-0 against Houston Astros on Tuesday evening, which was the best of 7 games championship in which they won 4 out of 2 of those. So congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. You deserve it. Now it's time for some stimulus update news. The Democrats are feeling pretty confident that they have a stimulus deal that could happen this week. After months of tense talks, delayed votes, and internal clashes, the Democratic leaders are on the cusp of solidifying a deal on President Biden's stimulus domestic agenda, setting the stage for a House to vote on both the bipartisan bill and the larger social benefits package in the coming days. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the final language of the social spending package could be released as early as Tuesday night. That's the hope, she said. And across the Capitol, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said that the upper chamber is aiming to consider the legislation on the week of November the 15th. The rapid-fire developments came after weeks of gridlock, and they were quickly cheered by the Democrats of all stripes, who have watched in exasperation as the negotiations dragged on for months of missed deadlines, bad press, and public grousing that's helped tug President Biden's approval numbers underwater. We have a bill is what one key negotiator stated on Tuesday. We did not have that last week when Biden came to the Capitol Hill. We had a wish and a prayer and a promise and a framework. And now we're going to have a vote on both bills. Now, even as the Democrats were celebrating, they were reminders that more work needs to be done to get the two bills to Biden's desk. Senator Joe Manchin, the centrist West Virginian who's led the effort to scale back Biden's social safety net expansion, declared on Tuesday that he hasn't endorsed a framework that President Biden unveiled last week, let alone a final bill. There were a couple of concerns that we needed to work through, Manchin said. And Manchin also balked at the notion of voting on an enormous federal spending package before the cost estimate has been released by the Congressional Budget Office, a sentiment echoed this week by the House moderates. So still, President Biden predicted late on Tuesday that Manchin will ultimately get on board. He will vote for this if we have in this proposal what he has anticipated. Now, Biden told reporters in Scotland, where the president is currently participating in a global climate summit, a gathering that's only increased the stakes for securing the climate provisions in the social spending package. Biden's ability to secure Manchin support is crucial to the success of both bills, not only because the Democrats have only 50 senators in the upper chamber, but because House liberals have hinged their support for both the infrastructure and the social spending packages on Biden's promise that the latter can later clear the Senate without any GOP votes. Now, even though the Democrats believe that they are on the tail end of finalizing a deal this week, Nancy Pelosi did say that they still have a few kinks to work out, but they should be done with those by Wednesday morning. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said on Tuesday that after she huddled with some Democrats that a handful of outstanding issues is holding up President Biden's mammoth social and climate spending package, but they could be resolved by the end of today. Now, the speaker's prediction was sunnier than that of many of her ranked and file members who for weeks have been seeing deadlines come and go on two key pillars of Biden's domestic agenda, the Build Back Better package and the bipartisan infrastructure package. I can sit here and I can BS you, but the real answer is there was no clarity. One House Democrat grumbled as he left the caucus meeting. Pelosi and her leadership team have been trying to project optimism on the $1.75 trillion package, even as Biden and the party have struggled for weeks to strike a deal on this social spending plan to aid families, students, and workers and the elderly people. In a closed-door meeting, Pelosi informed members that she hopes the remaining unresolved issues will be ironed out on Tuesday and that the Rules Committee will be able to mark up legislative text of the Build Back Better agenda as early as Wednesday morning. That would set up the floor vote on both the infrastructure and the reconciliation packages by the end of this week. Most of the Build Back Better legislation is already written, but moderates and progressives are racing to wrap up negotiations on several other big issues. Now, they hope a deal can be reached on the language to allow Medicare to negotiate lower drug prices, but only for older drugs that are no longer under exclusivity, period. Democratic negotiators are also trying to resolve some sticking points on the climate portion of the package, said Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, citing some reservations from centrist Senator Joe Manchin. Of course, right? Also, it looks like the hard work from Bernie Sanders has turned into some positive news for everyone in America. Democratic lawmakers have reached a deal on legislation to lower prescription drug prices to be included in President Biden's social spending package, according to Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. The agreement is less far-reaching than earlier Democratic proposals, but it still represents progress on an issue that the party has campaigned on for many, many years. Now, this agreement would allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices in limited instances, prevent drug companies from raising prices faster than inflation, as well as cap out-of-pocket costs for seniors on Medicare at $2,000 per year. Now, Democrats scaled back their earlier sweeping measure because of concerns from a handful of moderates that it would have harmed innovation from drug companies to develop new treatments, according to Senator Christine Sinema as well as Joe Manchin. It's not everything we all wanted. Many of us would have wanted to go much further, but it's a big step in helping the American people deal with the price of drugs, according to Chuck Schumer. Now, Sinema said in a statement that she supported the agreement. The senator welcomes a new agreement on the historic, transformative Medicare drug negotiation plan that will reduce the out-of-pocket costs for seniors, ensuring drug prices cannot rise faster than inflation, as well as save taxpayer dollars and to protect innovation to ensure Arizonians and Americans continue to have access to life-saving medications and new cures and therapeutics, according to Christine Sinema's office. One of the key compromises leading to the deal was limiting the scope of Medicare's ability to negotiate lower drug prices, which has long been a signature Democratic proposal. Now, lawmakers agreed to limit Medicare's ability to negotiate to older drugs that no longer have exclusivity, meaning that the period when they are protected from competition. Earlier versions of the Democratic bills would have allowed negotiations for the newer drugs. Now, the reason I say Bernie Sanders is because I know this was one of the things that he has been really pushing for and working hard to make sure that Americans no longer have to pay for the highest prices of prescription drugs out of any other country. So I give him credit knowing that he has always been actively fighting for this to happen, and it appears that it's around the corner. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, have they checked with Senator Joe Manchin yet to see if he believes that they have a stimulus deal and whether he will support it or not? You know, he has been calling the shots lately and giving out demands in which the Democrats were obligated to meet in exchange for his support. Well, here is what President Biden had to say about whether or not Manchin is on board or not. President Biden on Tuesday said he believes that Senator Joe Manchin will support the final version of his economic and social spending plan a day after the senator expressed his reservations about voting for the package that is upcoming this week. Now, he said he will vote for this if we have in this proposal what he has anticipated. Now, President Biden said that I understand that Joe is looking for a precise detail to make sure that nothing got slipped in the terms of the way in which this legislation got written that indifferent than he acknowledged he would agree to. But I think we'll get this done. Well, there you have it, guys. We could have a stimulus deal before the end of this week, if not by next week. It looks like the recent negotiations have been great. They finally got the prescription drug prices to be lowered for millions of Americans. But unfortunately, they were unable to include some of the other social provisions in the bill, as Manchin could not see himself supporting programs like Social Security and Medicare. But anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like this video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. Anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.